The reality is that economics is the dominant language in public policy, in public sector analysis. Health policy, for example, draws on health economics. Transport policy draws on transport economics. Environmental policy draws on environmental economics, and so on. So it's very important that public sector managers learn to talk this language and learn to be able to work with this language and to appreciate the economic way of thinking about public sector issues and problems. It's also important that public sector managers to be able to sort out dodgy arguments from real arguments. And I say this because we often see people dress up arguments in economic language to give it a veil of sophistication. I think it's important that public sector managers can sort this out and identify this. Now, in terms of what participants can expect from this course, well, we're going to learn some fundamental principles in economics that can be applied across a range of public sector agencies. Important principles like opportunity cost, supply and demand, the importance of balancing costs against benefits, the idea of economic efficiency, and very important in public sector analysis is the idea of market failure, why markets can sometimes fail to deliver good outcomes for society. And then we'll also take a look at the big picture, and we'll look at issues like productivity and why that is important. And we'll look at the role of the government in managing the business cycle, how to deal with the problems of unemployment and inflation. So these are the really core principles that we'll be looking at, and we'll be applying them in a number of different applications. Well, the teaching and learning approach I adopt is very much an interactive one. It's very much about collaborative problem solving. So I work with the students work with each other in small group works, and we're dealing with real public sector problems and applications.
Defence as the other means.
So it's very much, I mean, my view of learning, for example, is that learning is an active process, so that students must be engaged, they must be doing things, so they must be not just sitting passively, it's not a lecture, it's very much a workshop where students are doing things, they're writing, they're talking, they're discussing, they're thinking. Well, I'm the last person that would want to take anything away from what people have learned at school or at university, but this type of course is quite different. For a start, this is very focused. It's focused on public policy, it's focused on public sector analysis, and it's very much an applied style of learning. We start with an issue, we start with a problem, and we learn how economics can help us to think about this problem and help us to think about solutions to it. So it's not textbook learning at all. It's very much focused and applied. We're about building up a toolkit. We're about building up a framework to help think about problems. Tools like supply and demand analysis, for example, like balancing costs and benefits, tools like opportunity costs. These are very powerful tools that public sector managers can apply to a range of issues and problems. So that's, I think the way, thinking about it as a toolkit is a very useful way of thinking about what students and participants can take away from this course.